Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at a game called FAX. This is spelled F-A-X, but it actually means facts, F-A-C-T-S, and this is a trivia game created by Exidy in 1983. And this came in, usually at least, in a large jukebox-like cabinet. Very big and super expensive to create because it had so many trivia questions in it. But yeah, it's a trivia game, and you answer questions hopefully quickly enough to allow a lot of time left on your timer, because once your timer runs out, your game will end. And here's the boot up screen, which takes a little longer than most Exidy boot up screens, just because there's so much trivia questions that are being loaded. But there was this, and then there was, I guess, a very little seen FAX 2, which was really the same game, but it just had more questions, or newer questions, and some new categories too. But I remember seeing FAX at a, it might have been an Aladdin's Castle arcade back in the day, where I think I got 6 tokens for $1. They had that at the Vancouver Mall in Washington State back when I was young. But this is an okay game. You have 4 buttons for A, answer, B, answer, C, answer, D, answer. It's, multiple choice. And when you answer questions correctly, you will move this crazy-haired character up a ladder. And you can play 2-player simultaneous play, and you and the second player are going to try to answer a question first before the other player, and whoever answers it first will get the credit for the correct answer. And for each correct answer, your character will move up 1 step, and they climb up a ladder to go to another floor. And if you complete a certain amount of floors, then you receive a certain grade, or a certain level of recognition, like novice, beginner, smart, stuff like that. And we'll look at those levels a little later. At certain points, you might be able to win bonus time, get a little bit of extra time put on the clock if you're doing really well. We'll look at that later on. But yeah, I remember seeing this. This is all right, but yeah, it was very, very, very expensive to produce and yielded not nearly enough money in returns for Exidy. But guys that made a lot of Exidy games were responsible for this one. Vic Ptolemy and was it Larry Hutchinson? But yeah, here is the 2-player simultaneous play. Oddly enough, the second player, their character moves real slow compared to the first player character. And so you climb up a series of ladders to advance towards another grade. And see, the number represents the amount of correct questions that you answered. And the screen will scroll upwards as you get high enough. Well, I hope you have enjoyed your Veterans Day weekend. Let's go ahead and start. And like I said, once your time runs out, your game will end. And there's the 4 different categories: history, sports, entertainment, and grab bag. We'll start off. Yeah, Sheena Easton, I knew that. But yeah, you have 4 buttons, and they pertain to each question. Answer. I do not even know who Kim Darby is. Derby Zarby, what a horrible name. I didn't know that either. I had watched it, but I didn't know where it was first filmed. That I knew. I'd caught maybe a little bit of reruns of Flipper when I was very small. I was thinking I knew this one. Yeah. Metronome, of course. Beat time. They usually put it on top of a piano. And Peter Sellers, of course. Yeah, this is the easy setting. There are 3 difficulty levels you can choose. So I got that amount of questions correct, so I move up to beginner level. Yeah, all of the above, of course. But yeah, you have to be fast in this game. Because again, once you run out of time, your game will end. I guessed. I figured it wasn't like... Some of the answers looked like joke answers. I thought she was just the neighbor. I didn't know she was all of the above. Didn't really watch much of I Love Lucy. It was, I was way too young. Yeah, I knew... They misspell some of the answers. That was misspelled. I'd heard something like that somewhere. The big ragu. This one I was expecting to see like the Avengers as the answer. Wrong Hawkeye. Yeah, I used to watch reruns of Adam 12 when I was a kid. And now I'm up to Clever. Strangely enough, they walk on open space when they get off the ladder sometimes. I knew this one, Sherwood Forest, of course. Friendly Ghost. Milk Toast? What? Weird. I didn't know of this one. Never heard of the Barney. Graduate. Brainchild. Not too bad. So I'll put in my initials here. But that is FAX by Exidy in 1983. We will look at some of the other questions. And we will look at 2-player simultaneous play a little bit. And later on, we'll look at FAX 2, which just had additional questions and categories. And here is entertainment. Yeah, Huckleberry Finn, of course. Yeah, Fiddler's 3, of course. Oh, yeah, Ron Howard. I paused. You can pause in MAME and it won't show up in recording. I paused here to do the questions, and we're going to look at some of the later grades you can get. Gifted, Bionic Brain. I've never seen The Virginian. Oh, Gary Cooper. Bill Haley, of course. Yeah, I paused right as the answers appeared and then pressed the button after I unpaused, so it looked like I answered them real quick. I did know all of these, though. Almost all of these. Yeah, quick draw McGraw. Yep. Yeah, you'll hear a little toot sound when you're just got a quarter of time left. I didn't know that one. Now I climb all the way up to Superior. Very superior. Oh, of course, Dick Clark. Slim Pickens, what? Yeah, he lived in Oz, but I think his hometown was also Kansas, like Dorothy. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that one. And yeah, I guess I got a little bit of bonus time back, or something, or a bonus for extra time. I don't know for sure, but then what's the next grade? Genius, cool. Who played Batman? Duh, Adam West. A. Milne, of course. Oh, when you get to the top, you get a bonus round, and you get a bunch of extra questions to get some extra points. Duh, Mil Blanc. Yeah, I knew just about all these. They misspelled Jim Backus. I would have needed more time than what the game gives you to answer as many questions as I did, but I knew just about all these. This is the easiest setting here. That one I did not know. Of course, engineer, yeah. That one I did not know. I've never heard of the show. Obviously, George C. Scott, yep. He refused that Oscar, I believe. Or I didn't show up for it or something. Yeah, con. It's even in the title. Yeah, Little Orphan Annie. The Wayback Machine, Sherman and Peabody. And yeah, that was the final level there that you can reach. And I'll put in my initials. But yeah, we will look at the other categories or the two-player simultaneous play. So this is going to be history. I only knew these. These are like genius or really hard level questions. I only knew these because I played earlier and it had these same questions. I knew that was the answer for that. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Yeah, that one I didn't know for sure. Francis Drake. That one I knew. Great Depression. Yeah, I couldn't remember if this was the hardest difficulty level or second hardest. Now we'll just look at some of the other categories real quick. This is sports. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that one. I did know that the Louisiana Superdome was pretty damn big. And keep in mind, of course, this is 1983. Some of these questions might not be current. I had no idea about that one. Yeah, this is a hard difficulty. I was thinking that was right. Yeah, of course that's been passed. Didn't know that one, but now we'll go ahead and look at is it grab bag we're looking at? Yeah, I knew that. I played Monopoly a lot when I was a kid. I figured that was that one. I didn't know the word, but made sense. Oh, yeah, this is before 1986, so that was the answer. Of course, the president. Yeah, it's Georgia. I knew that one. Okay, now we'll look at two-player simultaneous play. Whoever gets the right answer first gets the points. So we'll play a 2 players simultaneous play, and whoever, the left player got the right answer first. So the left player climbs up a little bit. And yeah, since I played before, I knew this one. Glad they changed their name. That's a terrible name. Derby Zarby. And yeah, I knew this from playing earlier. Yeah, same questions. But yeah, it's so weird that the first player moves so fast and then the second player moves really slow. And that they sometimes walk on air when they get to the top of the ladder. Pretty odd. But yeah, the screen will scroll upwards for one player when they get higher than where the second player is. Yeah, she died the year before this game, I think. And scooting forward, this is what it's like when a 2-player game ends. So slow. The Dean's List. But that's FAX. And we will look at FAX 2. And there it is, in the same jukebox-styled cabinet. And again, this was just kind of an add-on pack. This had new categories. This had more new questions. But the game was really basically the same. World travel, sports, movies, and TV and potpourri are the categories this time around. And you had the same difficulty levels. Novice, expert, genius. Duh, Buckingham Palace. Same crazy-haired guy that climbs the ladders. Yeah, I had to play before to know some of these questions. Well, that one's obvious. Tea time. Hibernation. Wheelbarrow races. Ick is, of course, I. Or eek. And we'll look at some of the questions from each category, or from a couple of the categories. Which sport would the grass contain an apron? I have never heard of apron in golf. It's stupid. I actually knew that one. I guessed on this one I was right. Yeah, I kind of knew that one. I knew George Blanda was really old when he was done with the NFL. I've studied karate, almost got a black belt. Novice. Beginner. Yeah, you just push a soapbox derby car down the hill. And now we'll look at, is this potpourri? No, this is movies and TV. I wasn't sure about that one. Lawrence Welk, I knew that one. I watched a little of it when I was a little kid. I played this before and saw that question before, so that's how I knew that one. I guess that was Ben Casey. That was one of the most popular medical dramas. I've never seen The Music Man. obviously Bob Eubanks. I'm a big game show fan. Beginner. And now we'll look at Potpourri. Hickok, obviously. But yeah, novice difficulty, or easy, or beginner, or whatever difficulty is really quite easy. Oh, dumb question. Some of the questions, probably a couple of answers would have been okay. Well, that was FAX by Exidy in 1983, and also, of course, the basically upgrade pack FAX 2. But I hope you enjoyed FAX by Exidy in 1983. I will catch you later with another video. And also, I hope you enjoyed Veterans Day weekend. A big thank you to all who have served. This is Crazy Climber Race, and thanks for watching, and I will catch you later in the future with another video. Hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you later, folks. Bye-bye.